Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima HighRoad single bike platform carrier here in our 2021 Nissan Rogue. Now right out of the gate, these platform carriers are going to be a great way to get you a lot of versatility and ways to carry your bikes to the trails with you. Now a lot of times, you might see those hitch-mounted bike racks, and those do a great job. However, that does mean sometimes we are going to be having to add a hitch. Now a lot of the Rogues don't come with it factory, so this can be a quick and easy way to actually expand our accessories, still utilizing and leaving a ton of room on our roof rack system for a whole host of other things we might want. With a 45-pound weight capacity as well, we are going to be doing a good job of getting most of our standard and mountain bikes up on here. Keep in mind that probably eliminates A, those big heavy e-bikes, but B, we're probably not going to be lifting anything that is that much heavy actually up and above. Keep in mind too, one thing we want to be checking is our vehicle owner's manual guide. And make sure we're not going over A, our weight capacity of our roof rack system, but B, of our roof itself. So let's check that owner's manual. It'll be really easy to actually make sure we are well within that. The platform itself, as you can see, is going to have a tire hold system here. So if you're looking away of getting those carbon frame bikes to the trailhead with you, this is also going to be a great option for us. That arm just kind of pinches itself up. We'll see how that works here in just a second as we take it down. But as you can see, it is very stable up there. That's one thing I really like about this guy. This arm system does do a good job of pulling and binding that wheel in. So we're not going to have this flexing as we go down the road. And as well as these holders on the bottom do a good job making sure that rack stays there nice and tight. Now Yakima does do a good job of looking fancy to yourself, as you can see, and it is pretty low profile. It's not sticking up too much from our crossbars. The only thing to keep in consideration is how high our bike actually is. So keep in mind when you are utilizing these guys, drive-throughs are going to become an issue for you, and I'd just be watching that clearance. And that's really going to be dependent on your bike. So all we really got to do is take our bike's height and measure it, and keep in mind that is going to be adding to the top of our roof rack system. To get the bike off isn't going to take too much time at all. We want to come to the back end here, and we want to take out this little plastic stripping. It is just a little ratchet strip. Now I might also move my bars here, guys, if this was me. Now we do have these bars set a little bit more forward. However, if you wanted to, you can see you could shift this back a little bit. If you're like, man, that looks like it's really hanging over my front windshield, keep in mind we could shift these bars just a little bit to our own preferences. So now that we got that kind of undone, we just want to bring ourselves to the front of this bike. Now I'm actually going to hop up inside our driver's side here just so I can get a little bit closer to it. And that's my one disadvantage with these carriers, guys. As you can see, it is well and up out of the way, so it can be kind of difficult to start managing these guys. So all we have to do, come to our torque knob here on the inside and just start counteracting this. And you're going to see as I spin this, it's going to release this tension. And as I spin it out more, I can go ahead and just simply bring that down. Now my bike is free here, so make sure we have a good handle on it. And I just want to get my dismount ready here. And I'm just going to walk it straight off like so and onto the ground. So keep in mind as you get heavier and heavier, that is going to be a little harder to do. Way easier with these lightweight carbon frame bikes. And I think that's where this guy really starts excelling. But that's just me personally. If we're okay getting up here with those big heavy bikes, that's all right. Especially if we're limited by our situation, whether we don't have a hitch or anything like that. One thing I do dig about this as well is these arms do collapse down, as you can see. To get this guy further, we just simply want to loosen that knob a little bit, tightening it so it doesn't have any play. It's going to want to bounce up, as you can see, but as long as we just keep that nice and collapse like that, don't think we're going to have any issue at all. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the dimensions here. You can see we are getting a little bit of space between our crossbars and our bike rack and our roof. To the very end, looks like we're at 4 3/4 to the bottom of that platform. Innately, we are adding about 8 inches when it's in this position to our knob, adding about 9 inches. So keep in mind, I think our biggest height issue is going to be from the bikes we're throwing up on here. So as you mentioned, just measuring that bike with those additional measurements, I think we'll have a good kind of idea of how much clearance we are actually going to have. Now, how to actually mount this guy on here doesn't take much time at all. You're going to see on the underside here these little metal clippings. All they are is a rubber-coated metal strip. And the system of this is really simple and easy to do. All we have is a simple little pull over. and we press this guy down. On the inside here, we just have a little thread that can adjust that length of that kind of strip that goes underneath our crossbar. We set that like so, slide that in, and we're locked in, good to go. Now, one thing I did want to mention with this, since this is a Yakima bike rack, one thing that's great about it is we can utilize Yakima's same key system. You'll notice on the end here that we do have a little tail whip cable core. So what's great about these guys is that we can get these key-alike to any Yakima products. You might have noticed we have some Yakima crossbars up on here. So one great thing that we can start to do is actually all get these key-alike. And that way we only have one key that we have to keep track of. If you're like me, I'm pretty forgetful. So it's nice that I can get those all key-alike, not having to remember which one is which. And with those cable cores as well, on the inside of here too, we can get another cable core to actually make sure that our rack is attached to our crossbar. So I highly recommend picking those guys up if you are leaving this on here for a long extended time when we're not actually with our vehicle. Well, as you guys saw, Yakima HighRoad does a great job at getting those single bikes to the trailhead with you. One couple things I really like about it, look how much space we actually get on the other side. This means we could still throw up a cargo box, maybe a kayak carrier, or maybe even another HighRoad if we have a couple other family members that we want to take to the trails. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Yakima HighRoad here on our 2021 Nissan Rogue. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.